Hey there, I'm Wendy and I help clinicians grow your practice with content marketing. Now, I don't expect you to be following all the marketing trends because you are busy trying to run a practice in the middle of a pandemic. But you might have heard that marketers are in a tizzy over all the hot tips and tricks that are no longer working. Surprise! You actually have to be offering a product or service that really helps people and improves their lives to be heard in the very crowded space that is digital marketing. Now, this is good news for you as clinicians because you are experts in your field. All day long, you're solving problems for the people who need you. And so your marketing can reflect that. So what I want to go over right now is where should you be spending your time on social media as a clinician for 2022? Let's dive in. Now, the reason I want to talk to you about this is because you might be surprised that the channel you think you should be on isn't the one that you should be on. And maybe one that you haven't considered is one where you could really have a big impact and reach more people. Now, I recently spoke to two different clients who both came to me talking about a social media channel, and they had the wrong impression. The first was someone who is in the senior care space, and she was trying to reach seniors as well as their children. So Facebook is obviously a great place for this person, but I also said, have you considered LinkedIn? And she said, no, we're not using it in order to hire people. We really just want to reach the prospective users of our care. Now, those folks are on LinkedIn. We're talking about people who are in their 40s or 50s, who are children of seniors, as well as seniors who are 65 plus. So if those folks are professionals, which many of them are, then very likely they are on LinkedIn. That is a great place to be talking about senior care. The other person I was talking to wanted to know how to build an Instagram following for men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. And the first thing I said to her was, why Instagram? And she said, I don't know. She had heard that Instagram is where you should be, right? It's harder to get followers and engagement on Facebook, so she wanted to go to Instagram. And I said, forget it. LinkedIn is where you should be again. So let's dive into where should you be for your social media as a clinician in 2022. Now, I checked out a Pew Research survey, and you can see from here that of US adults, the most people are spending time on YouTube. Shocker, no surprise there. Now, YouTube is a great space. Obviously, I'm hanging out here, but it is a long form of content that takes a lot more time, so it's not for everybody. Now, next up is Facebook. Again, no surprise there. Facebook is a place where most US adults have a presence. Now, how much are they using it actually? That's another question. So that is Facebook. Next up is Instagram. No surprise there. That channel continues to grow among US adults. And next up under that is LinkedIn, my personal favorite. So let's dive into who is on what channel and where should you be. First up is Facebook with 2.8 billion users. It is obviously the largest social media channel where people are hanging out. So should you be there? Yes. Should you have very high expectations for your page, for your practice or your healthcare business? No, because the fact is, for a while now, Facebook has been a place where it is pay to play, meaning if you put up content and you actually want your followers or new people to see it, you really have to put some ad dollars behind it. So organic marketing on Facebook is very hard. Now, what is a big strength of Facebook are the groups. It's a great place to get referrals and to connect with colleagues. It's a great place to sell your couch. So that is Facebook, and Facebook has recently in November of 2021 announced updates to its groups. So Facebook knows that its groups are strong, and we as users do as well. You can create community on Facebook groups unlike any other social media platform. The other thing you can do, which may or may not work for you, depending on what kind of clinician you are, is that you can use Facebook as your personal profile. And in that case, you can post organically. The way you'll want to do that is to separate your followers into different categories and have a specific category of followers that are for your business. You can call them what you like, but when you have followers that are for your business, you can post about your practice or healthcare business and only allow the people who you have indicated are followers for your business, so personal friends and you've categorized them in a list of business people. You can post in that way and they will see your content, and your friends or your mom or your sister who don't care about your business or practice information will not see it. So that is one way to kind of get around the fact that we can't really expect organic traffic to our pages. If you want to see how to do that, you can check out my profile. I have a header on my profile that talks a little bit about my Facebook group for clinicians. You should join if you haven't already. And it guides people who don't know me to see what I do for my marketing for clinicians. So check that out if you are interested in getting more organic traffic on Facebook. Next up is Instagram. Instagram has 1.22 billion users, and that number is growing. It's a fun place for you as an individual and for your practice or business. It's a place where you can make a lot of connections with colleagues for referrals, and also a place where prospective clients and patients can check you out, see what it's like to work with you, and know, like, and trust you. So I love Instagram for those reasons. Now, one of the best parts about Instagram is that you do not need 10,000 followers anymore in order to share links in your stories. So gone is the pressure of needing to build up to 10,000 followers, because the truth is, as a clinician, you never needed 10,000 followers to fill your appointments. It's a place where people check you out, especially if you are a mental health therapist, for example. No one who is your potential client or patient, I shouldn't say no one, but most people are not going to comment on your content that's talking about anxiety or whatever it is that you do to help them. What they're going to do is see if you are the right person to help them by watching a video, hearing what you have to say, seeing if you're someone who could solve their problem. They're checking you out, but not necessarily engaging with you. So you do not need to be an influencer to succeed on Instagram, but if your audience is women, especially in their 40s and younger, if your audience is parents, and also there is a fair number of men on there and some men who have very big followings as well. So if you're serving men and women, I would say definitely head over to Instagram and spend some time figuring that space out, because that is where you will reach your audience. Next up, my personal favorite, LinkedIn. So yes, there are fewer users on LinkedIn than the other channels that I've mentioned, but the people who are going to LinkedIn are going there to talk about work. So you're not interrupting their cat videos or checking out friends' vacation photos with your information about your practice or your healthcare business. They're in that space to talk about those things. So it's a great space to talk about business and to get referrals and to connect with your prospective audience. So if you are serving professionals in, I'd say, anywhere from their 20s and on up all the way through retirees, a lot of them are on LinkedIn. Some of the other things that I love about LinkedIn is that plain text posts perform the best. Everyone says you've got to get into video, and if you Google this, you will find the same thing that it says about LinkedIn. But the truth is that for myself and for my clients and for many other users I've talked to on LinkedIn, plain text posts where all you do is write something about what is on your mind are the forms of content that often are performing best for a lot of people. Phew, that is so much easier, right? Than making these beautiful Canva images. So that is LinkedIn. It is not as crowded of a space. It's a really friendly space. So if you are one of the people creating content over there, people actually like your posts, comment, get in the direct messages. It's a sort of like Facebook back in like 2011 or so, where you could post something and people actually saw it. That's LinkedIn. So if you're a professional trying to reach other professionals, LinkedIn is a space that you should check out. Finally, if this video intrigued you to want to learn more about a social media channel, then I want to remind you about all the things that you've learned in your past and in your life and in your advanced degree to become a clinician. Social media is not rocket science. You can absolutely learn this, and I am very happy to show you how. So definitely check out the links that I have in this video, and also reach out if you ever have any questions. I am happy to answer or create a video based on that content. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.